Welcome to Trusting in the Lord, a channel dedicated to sharing inspiring teachings of Jesus to help you live with peace, love, and strength every day. Today, we reflect on humility, a quiet strength that transforms the way we serve, listen, and love. In a world that often rewards pride, Jesus calls us to walk with a gentle heart and a spirit willing to serve. Let's explore what true humility looks like and how it brings us closer to God and to one another. The power of humility. Humility is a virtue that often speaks softly but carries great strength. In a world where pride and self-promotion dominate, Jesus calls us to walk a different path, one that begins with a humble heart. He didn't praise those who elevated themselves, but those who lowered themselves to lift others. Humility isn't about denying our worth. It's about recognizing that every good thing we have comes from God. When we are humble, we become open to love, to learning, and to healing. We no longer need to pretend we have it all together. Instead, we let God be our strength. It doesn't weaken us, it roots us in truth. And from that truth, we can grow stronger and more connected to those around us. This is what true humility looks like: quiet, powerful, and deeply Christ-like. Jesus teaches, "The least is the greatest." Jesus once said, "Whoever humbles himself like this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven." With these words, he turned the world's idea of greatness upside down. Children are trusting, open, and unpretentious. They don't need to prove their value, they simply are. Jesus uses this image to remind us, humility is not smallness, it is spiritual greatness. Greatness in God's kingdom isn't measured by achievements or titles but by the depth of our trust in Him and our love for others. When we approach life with a childlike heart, teachable and gentle, we become vessels for His love. Humility allows us to serve rather than seek to be served. It invites us to lay down our desire for recognition and pick up the towel of a servant. Humility is not weakness. Many people mistake humility for weakness. But it takes great strength to be humble. Think of Jesus. Though he was the Son of God, he knelt to wash his disciples' feet. That act, simple yet profound, wasn't a gesture of weakness. It was a display of servant-hearted strength. True humility is strength under control. It is the courage to lower ourselves for the good of another. It means being willing to say, "I was wrong," or "You go first." It means letting go of our need to always win or be admired. A humble person doesn't think less of themselves, they just think of themselves less. They know their worth but don't use it to elevate themselves over others. That kind of strength opens doors to peace, understanding, and love. A listening heart. A humble heart listens, not just to words, but to people. It doesn't listen to respond or to prove a point, it listens to understand. It listens because it believes others matter. Even when there's disagreement, Jesus listened to those no one else would. He heard the cries of the broken, the forgotten, the outcast. In our noisy world, humility shows up in the quiet choice to slow down and truly hear others. Sometimes, humility means choosing silence, letting others speak, or accepting that we don't have all the answers. That gentle presence can bring healing in ways loud answers cannot. Humble listening is one of the most powerful forms of love. Humility in speech. The way we speak reflects what lives in our hearts. Humility speaks gently, kindly, and truthfully. It doesn't seek to dominate a conversation or to win an argument. It seeks connection, peace, and restoration. Jesus taught that our words come from the overflow of our hearts. If humility lives there, it will show. A humble voice chooses encouragement over criticism and healing over harm. Even in disagreement, humility allows our speech to remain respectful. The world remembers kind words long after clever ones are forgotten. Every sentence is a chance to bless. Let's use our voice that way. Quiet actions, clear impact. Jesus taught that acts of kindness are most powerful when done in secret. Without seeking praise, humility often moves behind the scenes, quiet but steady. Unnoticed by the world, but seen by God. Whether it's helping a neighbor, giving generously, or praying privately, a humble heart doesn't need recognition. Its reward is knowing that love was shared and that God was honored. Some of the greatest changes in the world begin with the smallest, quietest gestures. The humble are not looking for credit. They simply want to serve. And in doing so, they reflect the heart of Christ. Be humbled to be lifted. Jesus said, "Whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted." The kingdom of God turns pride upside down and raises the lowly. Humility doesn't mean we think we're worthless. It means we understand our deep need for God. We stop striving to prove ourselves and start resting in His grace. As we kneel in surrender, God lifts us, not with applause or wealth, but with peace, joy, and purpose. The humble may go unnoticed by the world, but they are honored by heaven. In God's timing, He raises those who kneel before Him. To live like Jesus, to follow Jesus is to choose humility every day, to serve in secret, to forgive quickly, to admit when we are wrong. Each act of humility draws us closer to Christ and reveals Him to others. When we stop chasing attention and start paying attention to others, we reflect Jesus. When we quiet our pride, love gets louder. Humility doesn't make us less, it makes us more like Him. Let's ask ourselves, where can I step down so Christ can rise up? When we walk humbly, we walk freely, and we let God's grace flow through us. Thank you for joining me in this journey. See you again.